Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Tonight, I am discussing Undying Love, directed by Clayton Ritchie. A mother must make some difficult decisions to save her daughter while the world ends. All right, everyone. As you know, tonight's Alien game was postponed, so give me a chance to do as well. If you're not familiar with this, I have mentioned it before. Dale Gibson, one of our co-hosts, this is her short story, which was originally made into narrated fiction by Clayton Ritchie on his Script Reads channel, which is excellent. And this has been the short story that's a short film that's been in the makings for a bit of time now. And here it is. It's dropped today. All right. Is this where friendships end? um, yeah, I have to be honest. If I hadn't, if I wasn't familiar with the short story, this would have confused the hell out of me. So the context of the actual story is that the world's coming to an end. It's the apocalypse. And Lilith and obviously in the story her son, baby son, is trying to escape it. And Zach basically comes to the rescue in an unexpected way. If I wasn't familiar with that, yeah, this is really confusing. I think what we needed, right, was context at the beginning. This is where just the whole thing, and it's not about budget or the length of it, but the actual beginning of this is really confusing because you've just got mother and daughter running away, nothing, broad daylight as well, and no context of what's going on. The intro is a still shot of a set of into some woods, but nothing. I don't know. I had a quick look, obviously, on the interwebs, and I looked up like this is filmed in Australia, so I looked up Australian bushfires, for example, loads of footage, loads of stock footage as well. Mix that up with earthquakes, volcanoes, something. We need some context that the world's ending. Here's the thing that gets me though. In the narrated fiction, he gets it. He uses the sound effects and everything else. The whole point is they're trying to escape. Their house collapses on top of them. And she's trapped under it. And the way Dale writes the story and the way Clayton narrates it and adds the sound effects, you're there. You're in the moment. This, you're just confused. You're just like, what are they running from? Um, what what's going on? It's broad daylight. There's nothing like this. Really, I don't know. Get one of them smudgy sage things or light a thing. Get some smoke, under the camera, something to indicate that all's not well. Enter, suppose. No, I mean you don't have to burn things, but you have to let us know that the world's coming to the end. Something's happening. It's just not a set of woods, broad daylight, just running in a forest, and um. we get the trope here of no women can't run because it's every horror movie ever runs along a straight line. Over she goes. Um, I understand, right? This is where I have to try and be generous because I know the context behind it. I understand it was filmed in the space of a couple of days, really tight budget. It was crowdfunded. It was to get it off the ground, but nothing else makes if you don't get the beginning right. And when it's nothing like the story, and I'm not saying build sets and set things on fire, but use stock footage, give us an result, especially those of us. If you haven't read the short story or you haven't listened to the short story, you're not gonna get this. You're just gonna go, huh? Um yeah, I have I asked Dale, was she sure that she wanted me to review this? Yeah, this is a tricky one. Yeah, that's it. You don't get any sense to this. And she falls over, and then she's got a In fairness, the makeup, the actress that plays Lilith, makeup's great. The twig, sticking out of her, etc., is good. That side of it's good. Her overacting's a bit funny, but the reason for that is middle of an empty field. You know what I mean? Middle of an empty path. There's nothing. You wonder what the hell's happening here, and that just takes away from any work they're putting in. Yeah. Also, I know this is a tight budget, but for God's sake, could Zack not have had a belt? She calls for Zack for help. I think this is where, I don't know, a shot in the beginning waving across, like in the short story, their neighbors, they always waved across at each other, good morning, goodbye. I think we needed some of that. And especially in the dream sequence, because when she collapses, they go into the dream sequence, and it's just her playing in the woods playing in the park, uh, with her daughter. Oh my god, I didn't take down the daughter's name because it wasn't. It was Cole. Was it Cole in the short story? Wee boy. Sorry, I have a bit pause here to show you as well. But yeah, there should have been them going across, waving good morning, goodbye, heading out to work. I don't know. Yeah, this is tricky. It just you've lost all context of the story. And that's the sort of takes you away from it. And I don't think it would have been a massive budget thing. Like I said, there's loads of stock footage out there. Just have some as the world ends, wee bit of a a disaster, something wee bit of what do you call that? Like the intro reel. Sorry, frog in the throat. Anyway, so that's sort of the first part. Second part's fine. We've got her in sort of the basement, the grotto. That is, I know Dale wrote it that there was like loads of corridors and stuff, and I get that the fact there wasn't anywhere, but was there not a wall? Like that bit of tarpaulin, really obvious. I think they needed a wall or something instead of the tarpaulin. The tarpaulin really takes you away from it. And I almost laugh because this is a Vampire the Masquerade LARPing group. This is the sort of stuff we wore in the 90s when we went to a bar and pretended to be vampires. It was just made me giggle because it just reminds me back in the days, rolling dice and that. Obviously still play Vampire now, so lots of love for the game. Yeah, he needed a throne. Like the whole thing is he's sitting on a dais of some sort. He needed a throne, even if it was made out of paper, even if it was a kitchen stool made up with some plaster of Paris or something. He needed to have a dais of some sort. And yeah, we got no context there. And the vampires didn't seem too happy. They're all looking as if, oh, you're bringing that to us. The point of her saving her daughter and becoming a vampire, not being the only choice. I mean, that's the only bit that actually fits with the story. The original, nothing else in this. It's a bit at the very end that actually ties in with the original story. Nothing else does. It's strange. But here's the bit that really really gets me. Right. I had to share this because I was watching the credits and stuff, but I have to I can't let this go. Sorry, Clayton, but what the hell is this? No children were harmed in the making of this film, although some were probably traumatized by the plot. She did not actually turn into a vampire. We promised no blood sucking involved. Those teeth, 100% fake. And just to clear up any confusion, vampires are as fictional as the plot of this movie. Right. if that's meant to be a joke, fair enough. But in today's age, like, if you're that stupid that you don't know this is fake, if you're that thick that you can't discern fantasy from reality, you shouldn't be watching anything. You you shouldn't have the phone. You shouldn't be on the internet. In fact, you shouldn't be allowed to talk to people. If you are actually that stupid that you'd watch this and think it was real or any vampire movie, then don't make your problem our problem. You know, if you actually are that mentally deficient, you should have a carer and you should not be in public. And I don't know, because this climate of people pandering to numpties, absolute dipshits out there, who a if they are that stupid, then you can't talk to them anyway, because yeah, they don't have the cognitive ability. But the other ones are just shit stirring, and you're pandering them, and you're giving them power that they don't have. Things like that wind me up. Disclaimers. We need to stop this shit. We need to stop being so fucking afraid to offend people, or having to cover all bases in case some frigging lunatic out there wants to take things literally. That's their problem. It's not ours. And Clayton shouldn't feel afraid to make anything. Even, the chance of some gobshite like me is going to come along, watch it, and talk about it, should that mean he should not make anything? Absolutely not. Like, first of all, 100% props to him. Anyone, and I think you know that, anyone for making anything. You get out there and you make something, you have put yourself out there, and I have infinite respect for folks that do it. Apart from corporate machines that just throw money at things and do the fast food, like I've no time for mainstream now, because it's just shite and they're not even trying anymore. But anyone that's trying to actually make something I have respect for. I just think with this, it could be so easy to fix. Like, you do an edit in this and just throw in a couple of bits with very little to no cost. Even though this has been shot, bit of smoke over the few visual effects. Post edit, you need the context at the beginning. This is what throws me off the whole story, is there's no context at the beginning unless you've read the short story. If that makes sense. There you go. I've talked longer than the short. The short's it's only 8 minutes long. You know what I mean? Go check it out. The link's in the description, by the way. Obviously, and if you disagree with me, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say. For the most part, yeah, fair play to them for doing it. I've been looking forward to this. I've also been nervous about reviewing it because it's my friends, and I can't. You can't be in this position and not be honest. That's where you find yourself as a reviewer. And I hope they respect me for being honest. But I'm never going to like panic, fucking shit, because if you go, do you know what I'll do in the description? I'll go find the original script. Was it script? It is script reads, yeah. I'll go find the original narrative fiction and go listen to that. And that's Clayton doing it really well, and you hear the effort. You can close your eyes and you can imagine what's happening. The film doesn't do that. It actually strips it all away, makes you a bit confused. But anyway, there you go. This is a quick one. I'm on with Chris tomorrow. We're doing Resident Evil Retribution. Back on Dale next week. We're doing Wolf Creek 2, and we'll be back to Alien the week after, and loads of stuff in between. So there you go. Until next time, keep updated with the channel, do technical things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.